Hello, Internet. So, what have I learned from playing video games? Well, more than you might think. But first, welcome to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lord Master DLC79, and I'm an INTJ. If you don't know what that means, Google is your friend. I'm also a gamer, and I will be talking about things that I have learned from playing video games. Now, first, a little disclaimer that there are a lot of things that I have not learned from video games that I learned from other sources, and then there are other things that I just haven't learned at all. But yeah, like you'll read down in the description, no, I have not learned all the state capitals from video games, and really I don't think I've learned them. Period. I did not learn long division from video games. I did not learn all the signers of the Declaration of Independence from anywhere, really. I mean, what is? I mean, we don't need to know these things. Okay, long division, maybe. Maybe we need to know long, maybe, but yeah. I mean, there are plenty of things that I've learned outside of video games from other sources. I mean, for example, I have a master's degree in biology. Video games were not related to that at all. But there are still things that I've learned from video games that I think are very valuable. And I'll just go over three. Just three. First one. Split-second decision-making and following it through. Remember those old-school games that had time limits? And I hate time limits. I really hate time limits. It's like, I mean, I want to go into a game and explore and find all the things, and time limits limit my ability to do that. But I believe there's like this one section in like World 1, Level 1 of the original Super Mario Brothers, where you get to like these two platforms, and you have the Hammer Brothers guys just jumping up and down all over the place and lobbing hammers. And here's the thing: if you hesitate, just trying to find the right opening, you're actually hurting yourself. And that's life right there. If there's something that you want to do, but you keep hesitating and putting it off, you are hurting yourself. Just do it. Or you decide to not do it. Do it or don't do it. That is life. Because every time you sit there hesitating, waiting for the right opening, you're effectively not doing it. It's the exact same thing as saying, no, I'm not doing it. You're just not admitting that you're not doing it. So either do it or don't do it. And I credit video games for being the original teacher of this, but life, or more specifically people in life, teach you to not do that. You need to weigh all the options. You need to be sure of yourself. You cannot always be sure of everything. Not 100%. That's pure fantasy there, being 100% sure of everything. Sometimes you just need to take a chance, and if it doesn't work out, you learn something at the very least. This whole split-second decision-making thing and committing to whatever decision you make, we eventually have to relearn this somewhere else in life. And well, I have relearned it for doing YouTube. But yeah, I do credit video games as being the original teacher of this lesson, because like in the game, if you just hesitate and sit there, it's the same thing as saying, okay, I give up. So you either give up or you do it. And that's number one. Number two, planning, long-term planning, and commitment to a course of action. Now planning is not the same thing as split-second decision-making. Split-second decision-making is, and I had an example before I hit record. Oh yeah, it's like you want to buy a book to learn about some topic, and there are two books. Book A and Book B. Which do you buy? Which is better? You don't know. You have to pick one. Do it right now. Pick one. And then read it. And I guarantee that regardless of which one you pick, you will learn something. Is it the best? Don't know. The only way to be sure of which one is the best is to buy both. But if you can only buy one right now, buy one. And then later on, buy the other. You just have to pick one over the other. One or the other. One or the other. Or neither. But that's the stupid choice. If you're talking about learning. Not learning is the stupid choice. That sounds obvious, but I guess some people need to have that spelled out to them. But long-term planning is more of a choreograph. Well, I don't want to say choreographed because scheduling is a choreography, and I don't think I've learned scheduling well. I mean, I had to do, but long-term planning. That's essentially where INTJs live. I'm here. Okay, let me try to do this on the screen. I'm here. I want to be over here. What are all the different ways? What are all the different ways I can get from here to there? That's essentially what planning is. And commitment to a course of action. We're going to pick one of those, and we're going to commit to it. One of those possible paths to get to our destination. We're going to pick one, and we're going to stick to it until we're certain it's not working. And once we're certain it's not working, we're going to start deviating to one of the other courses. That's planning. For example, in my Fallout 3 Let's Play, I have a plan. My end goal is by level 30, the max level, to have perfect 10s and all of the special attributes and a maximum score of 100 in every single skill. Is it doable? Maybe. I may have made some mistakes. I'm not sure. But I have a plan for how to get there. And I need to pay very close attention to see whether or not it's working. Because if it's not, I mean, if I'm going to fall short, by level 30, I need to have like 65 in every skill after getting all the 10s in the specials. The remaining skill points would come from the bobbleheads and the skill books. And if I have less than 65, then, well, I mean with the comprehension perk, I get 2 points for every one book instead of one. So I can technically go lower, but I don't want to. But I mean, I have options. I still have options. I still have courses of action that I can follow to get to my goal. Open world RPGs like that. They're great for playing in open world survival games, especially with building and crafting systems like Minecraft or Rising World. Great for practicing the planning. Number 3, tactical thinking, and I have never enjoyed tactical thinking since I can remember. And back in the day, that's pretty much all games were. It's like just execute tactics the entire way. A good example of tactics will be like any game made by Activision ever. You're in a fight, so square, square, square does this, and square, triangle, square, circle does that, and square X, square X, square X, circle, triangle. It's stupid and it's nonsensical, and I don't like it. Needless to say, I have learned that Activision does not make games I enjoy, which is why I'm probably not going to be playing any on my channel. Another example of tactical thinking would be the boss fights in RuneScape, or the way they were before I quit the game. It's just like you go in with this setup of armor and these weapons, and you're in DPS mode, and then you're just unloading, and you pop this ability and that ability and that ability, and then you watch for the boss to do this specific animation. When you do that, you switch to your shield, you pop this ability, the next attack will heal you, then you switch back to your DPS, and then you just rinse and repeat until phase 2. Then you got to switch up your entire armor. It's not even really tactics. It's micromanaging, because I have to click this and then that and this that and this and watch for this and what it's that by the way is one of the reasons why I quit RuneScape. But tactics are still a very large part of video games. I mean, less in the games that I enjoy, such as open world RPGs and the open world survival games. But I mean, tactics are pretty much necessary in any walk of life. If you want to know how to cook, you need to know how to chop onions and chop bell peppers, and you mix flour and liquids, and you need to know that there's going to be a saute and a sweat and all those things. If you want to do surgery, you are talking tactics. You are talking about life-threatening tactics there. Well, depending on the surgery. If it's removing a mole, it's probably not life-threatening. If it's a triple bypass, yes, someone's life is in your hands. And literally hands. These are the executioners of tactics right here, the hands. You know, circle, square, triangle, and all that, and you know, your number 1 ability, your number 2 ability. Again, tactics are your hands, and well, INTJs are up here, not out here. That was very creepy what I did. But yeah, I mean, just playing any video game is practice with tactics. It's just, how much practice do I want? A good example of about as much tactics practice as I can take is my Pyre Let's Play. I only got through that because of the story. The actual rights were so tactics intense. I'm just glad I didn't have to win all of them, because I mean, you can go back. I mean, it's like 35 episodes of me being very mediocre to sucky at tactical thinking. So can I really say that I've learned tactical thinking through video games? Well, I've learned more than not playing video games. I mean, reading a book or watching an online course, you know, those are not exactly train tactics. Playing video games does train tactics, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the bulk of my tactical training or practice. Training. Yeah, but, I mean, video games are like the bulk of my tactical practice, because pretty much everywhere else I try to avoid tactics. But yeah, those are just 3 things that I've learned from video games and continue to practice: split-second decision-making, long-term planning, and tactics, as much as I hate number 3. But, I mean, this actually opens up a very interesting aspect of video games. They can actually be educational tools. And I know there are educational games out there, but I really don't think that they're achieving the full potential. Imagine a video game that could teach you how to run a business, or how to be an investor. Imagine a video game that can help you train surgery, because I already mentioned surgery, so it's like fresh on my mind. Or I mean, anything. I mean, with VR becoming more and more of a thing, I see video games, and particularly VR video games, having more potential as educational tools if they are used properly. I mean, admittedly, there are plenty of games out there that are like the opposite of educational. I don't want to mention any by name because I might accidentally offend somebody, because the internet is very sensitive. That's right, the internet, you are sensitive. Um, but yes, I do believe that video games do have a hidden potential as educational tools, which is why I am targeting gamers for my whole school doesn't teach thing, which is all about us needing to be the masters of our education. And I have an entire playlist where I talk about all the things that schools should be teaching but isn't. And okay, I'm going to try to do this again. Over here, right here. I should be holding the link to School Doesn't Teach. Click it if you want to. And yeah, I do videos every day, sometimes multiple days. And whichever one you're watching next, I will see you then.